Hello everyone. So some of you may know I used to work in the Korean countryside for 2 years, and to get to my school I had to take the bus to and from. So throughout my 2 years I met many interesting people during my bus trips. So today I'm going to tell the story of 3 encounters I had during my morning and afternoon commutes. So this first one is not so bad, but for some reason I can't forget this one. So I came to the bus stop around 4:45 p.m. as I usually do, and this time there was an old lady there waiting for the bus. I was just waiting like I normally did, and the old lady came up to me and asked me what time does the bus come. So I told her it comes at 4:55. She told me that she had been waiting since about 4:30, and she then told me that she had been waiting since about 4:30. And in the countryside, the bus only comes once an hour, so I wasn't really sure what to say next, so I just assured her that the bus would be coming soon. So the bus arrives and we both get in and sit down. So I sat a few seats back from the front while she sat at the front so she can talk to the bus driver. She started complaining to the bus driver about how long she had been waiting, and the bus driver told her it comes at 4:55, so you should wait around that time. She then points to me and tells the bus driver that I told her it comes at 4:30, and like, I was just trying to pretend that I wasn't listening, but I felt betrayed on the inside. Like, how could she betray me like that? So this next one, I don't know if I'll ever forget this one. So I was just on the bus in the morning on my way to work, and it was pretty normal. The bus was full of people who were also going to the countryside to go to work. I was sitting at the very back because it was quite full, and there was an ajushi like a few seats in front of me, and everything was pretty normal until he turned around. So he turned around and he kind of had his body sideways with his arm leaning over the chair, like he's kind of like looking back at me like that, and then he was just staring right at me. I don't know why. He had no expression. He was just staring at me. His face was just like. And there was still 10 minutes left before I arrived at my school, and he was staring at me the entire 10 minutes. I got so nervous, and I tried to look away sometimes, but then every time I looked back, he was still staring at me with that same expressionless look. Then eventually when I arrived at my school, as I was getting off the bus, he basically followed me with his stare as I got off. So like, I was walking off and he would just be like, and I was like, why was he staring at me? Like, I've seen this man on the bus before, and I've seen him times after that, but that was the only time he's ever done that. And you know, I naturally, you know, you'd assume that, you know, it's because you're not Korean that you look very different, but because I don't look like, I'm not straight up white or black or anything, I don't get stared at that much in Korea. And also that bus in the countryside, there was often like Indian, African and Russian people like taking the bus and working in like the farms and factories and stuff. So I assumed almost everyone on that bus line was used to seeing non-Korean people, but I don't know, I guess not. So this last one, I still don't know how I feel about it. Half of me still doesn't believe it. But yeah, it only ever happened to me twice, and they both happened to me on the same day. So after work every day, I'd always come to the bus stop around 10 minutes early, and I'll just wait out there for 10 minutes. And there wasn't, because it was the countryside, there were cars that were coming and going, but it wasn't a huge amount. Now on this day, a car kind of stopped right in front of me at the bus stop, and this wasn't too weird because there's actually a parking spot right next to the bus stop, so it was pretty common for cars to come and park right next to the bus stop. But he parked right in front of me, and he looked like he was at least 20 years older than me, and he had this really scary demeanor. He didn't smile, he didn't really look at me at all. He just kind of, his face was just like, and was just like looking straight ahead. And without really looking at me, he barely glanced at me. He kind of gestured me to get in his car. Like, he was just like, and just looking away in the other direction. Look, I was like, no, there's no way I'm entering your car. I don't even know who you are. Yeah, so his window was still up, so I wasn't able to talk to him at all. So I just kept gesturing that I was not getting in. And then without warning, he just drove off. Then probably like 5 minutes later, a woman pulls up in front of me. She also seemed quite a bit older than me, but she was definitely a lot friendlier than the first guy. So she pulled down her window and then she asked me where I was going. So I told her I was going downtown. So she told me to get in and said that she'll take me. And I was like, oh, I'm fine, I'll just take the bus. And then she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure, I'll take the bus. And then she just drove off as well. Yeah, so I actually felt really spooked after that happened to me. I felt like I was in one of those true horror stories that happen to people or something, but I kind of avoided something happening. I wasn't sure if like I was gonna get kidnapped or if they were actually gonna take me downtown. So I really don't know what to think about that, what just happened. So the following week at church, I told my Korean friend about this, and he said that's a common thing in the countryside because there's not much public transport in the countryside. So random people usually offer to drive other people since there's rarely buses. But I don't know, personally I'm still not 100% convinced, so I'm personally glad that I didn't accept their offers. Anyway, those were 3 encounters I've had while commuting to and from work. I definitely did enjoy my commute a lot of the time, but there were often times where I will come across some very interesting people. Yeah, but overall, like, I would say I had a pretty good experience throughout my commutes at work, going to work. Anyway, thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.